So something's up on the Pontiac. Well, what ended up happening is the one day I was out in the garage and I smelled gas, and I looked under the car and there was a small puddle and it was dripping. So what I wound up doing is I dropped the gas tank strap where I saw staining, and you can see I've mixed up JV Weld and since have smeared that on. And I think the leak was actually up in the front. It's hard to see, but there's a little dent right in this strap, and the same dent is in the tank, and that where it looked like there was a really small hairline crack there. And what I wound up doing is I siphoned as much gas out as I could, and I jacked the car up so it was at an angle, so there was hopefully no gas laying in this side. So I think I found it. I got it sealed up, so I'm going to go ahead and put it together. What I'm going to do to help protect it, I'm going to just take a little bit of tar paper and put that in between the tank strap and the tank, and I'm going to put this back together. With the strap back on, we're going to get this down off the jack stands and see if we have any leaks. Well, of course, there's not much gas in this tank, but we'll let that sit overnight. And again, we'll put my container there, and we'll see tomorrow morning if there's anything that leaked out. Well, two simple items that I picked up at the swap meets, both at Carlisle and Hershey. So I got a brake pedal pad and a new lens, dome light lens. So I'm just gonna go ahead and slap them in there, no big deal. Of course, to put these on, I mean, pretty self-explanatory, I assume. Started from this one corner over here, I believe. Or maybe I'll start it from that corner. Okay. There it is. Be nice not having my foot slip off of there. All right. Look at that. That pedal looks horrible. Oh well, that'll be a future time. Next, we're going to tackle this dome light lens. Should be pretty simple. Alright, let's find the grooves. There we go. That was actually pretty simple. Of course, the bezel looks like it needs to be chromed or sprayed to look like chrome. But hey, that's a lot better than it was. Another thing that I want to address, when I bought this car, I noticed that the trunk lid wouldn't stay up. And they were actually using the busted trunk rod to support it. And it looks like just the one end had probably snapped off. So on a recent trip to the junkyard, I picked up a number of these trunk rods. Actually, I got two sets for the third generation, and I also got a fourth gen Nova rods as well. Thought I'd share a little bit of my trip to the junkyard at pulling these rods off. You may recognize this shell of a Nova. It had given up its bench seat for the '69 Nova project of my brother's. This yard is Bonner's, which is in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. And if you'd like to see some more footage from there, I have 3 separate videos from this junkyard. In fact, I'm going to put a link here to the first episode of Walking Around the Junkyard.
But I'm also going to put down in the description the contact information and address of this yard. So that way, if you want to go check them out, you'll know where to go, and I'm sure they'll be happy to see you. Now, this yard, a lot of those old cars, they've been pretty well picked through or pretty rotted. But the nice thing is they haven't crushed these cars, and they are still giving up good parts. Had they crushed this car, I wouldn't have been able to harvest these trunk rods that I need to fix the Pontiac.
So let's take a look and see how this is supposed to attach. So this is the part of the adjustment. So you have 3 different points for adjustment. What we found in the junkyard, for the ones I pulled, they were all at that last one. So I'm going to assume that is the correct place to be. Now on the opposite side here, where it attaches to the hinge, you can see our hinge has this apparatus right here. And the other end of that is kind of S-shaped, and you can see how it is locked in on the bottom side of this hinge. Okay, getting that where it needs to go. Let's get that right there like that. Okay, now that we've got that, now in theory, it should be as simple as turning that up and getting it latched in there. So let's see if that will actually work, or if I'm going to need some prying bars to do this. There we go. Okay, so we've done it right. It should stay up on its own. Oh, that sounds rough. Uh-oh. Well, we may have goofed up something. Oh, there we go. Since it doesn't want to close, let me show you what's happening. This rod is too long. It's coming down and it's running into that little bead right there. So we're just gonna get a pry bar and see if we can make an adjustment and make that work. Or perhaps it needs to be cut off. Or maybe there is a difference between the rods. So let's get that rod. It's supposed to be up in here. Now it's in place. So it seems good. Done. Yeah, that works like a trunk lid should. Awesome. Another project done.
When I do some cleaning, another thing that I want to do is I want to replace this trunk weather strip. Recently bought new weather strip at Carlisle when I was at the swap meet. So even though I'm going to paint this car at some point, figure I'd rather have this thing seal up and not rattle or have any water leaks. So we're going to go ahead and see if these match, which it's a little bit difficult because this other one is pretty old and dried out. But I feel pretty confident that I've got the right strip here.
Looks like the right shape.
I was trying to be careful as I removed this old one, even though it was in pretty rough shape, just in case that the new trunk weather strip that I got wouldn't fit. That way I'd be able to reuse the old strip for temporarily until I would get the correct one.
The last one, the seam was right above the one taillight bulb, so we're going to do it the same way.
When installing a new trunk weather strip, you want to take your time. Don't want to rush it, don't want to stretch it either because it will have a tendency to shrink. But the other thing you'll want to do is probably use a little bit of weather strip adhesive. That'll help to hold this in. So again, take your time. I use a plastic putty knife to push that into that channel.
Okay, to finish this, one, you don't ever want to stretch this because it will then shrink. So I'm kind of pushing back on it a little bit as I do this. And now what I'm going to try and do is cut just a little bit long. Now what you should do is put a little bit of weather strip glue in there, little 3M weather strip glue to make that seam. But I may end up removing this later to do paint work. Okay, let's see how well it closes. A lot tighter. Oh yeah, she really pops now. That'll relax in time. That's nice. That should get a good weather pipe type seal. Oh.
Another project I needed to take care of is put on a new fuel pump. The other one would get weak after it would warm up, so I'm gonna swap that out, but I wasn't gonna bore you with the whole process.
So one other thing I've done to the car that you may have noticed is the stripes look a little bit different. When I got the car, there were 2 white stripes on here, and it just looked a bit boring. And I had a lot of this red striping left over, so from a project probably from back in the 1990s. So I just got a little creative one day, and I put the red over top of the white. And I liked the looks of it, but I thought it needed a little bit more. So I went ahead and had some other white and put a stripe the whole way down the side of the car. And I think it kind of gives it a nice 70s kind of a look. So it's still rough. It ain't perfect. I mean, my gosh, it's just the way it's going to be. But just to screw around, I kind of like the look. Now, eventually, if I get around to painting this car, I doubt it's going to have some chintzy kind of vinyl decaling like that on it. But hey, you never know. If I really like this long term, maybe I'll tape it off and paint it, and it'll be a flat black stripe. Who knows? I'm not worried about an exact restoration on this car. I'm just having some fun. So if you like seeing this and you want to see more of X-Gen stuff, like I got my wife's 75 Nova, got some more work that's going to be coming up on this, namely the posi rear from the Junkyard that I put in it. Got my brother's 69 Nova as well, so there'll be more of that. Of course, there's always the Jeep, which right now is apparently a shelf. That's going to do for this video. Again, as always, I want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you're not a subscriber, make sure you hit that button. That way you won't miss any videos. Same way, if you want notifications when a new video comes out, you make sure you tap the bell as well. Drop me a comment. What do you think? You like the Pontiac? What do you think I should do with it? You think I should paint it? Car was originally a silver color. You think I should go back to that? You think I should keep it black? Maybe just update it after I do the rust repair, or do something else? Throw me what your ideas are. I'd be curious to hear what you got to say. Again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.